Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, those who are all joining worldwide for an exciting launch webinar where we would like to launch Inforiver Charts to all of you, where we are bringing in no-code data visualization for storytelling and exploratory analysis, where we are dramatically speeding the fastest way to visualize your data. It's a pretty game-changing innovation thanks to our team who have worked years to make this happen, to bring disruption to the space of visualization, the same way we did to the no-code reporting with our Inforiver matrix. My name is Gopal Krishnamurthy, founder and CEO of Lumal and Inforiver, and I have a great pleasure in introducing the company to you today. And I would be talking about a lot of innovations with Inforiver Charts, and I will be moving straight into demos, exploration, and some of the exciting announcements today. This webinar is being recorded, and if you have registered, you would get a copy of the presentation as well as the recording. So if you cannot be there for the full duration, you would still get the copy of the presentation and the recording. And with that, I wanted to introduce Lumal. Lumal, as an organization, has been in business for over 12 years, and we are, without any doubt, the largest player in building add-on solutions on top of major BI platforms like SAP and Power BI. We have several successful offerings over the years, which has helped us acquire thousands of customers, and it is growing every day. And today I will be talking about our Inforiver offering. And what I wanted to share is what is the vision of Lumal? What we are doing is we are trying to bring a no-code revolution in terms of business productivity for the space of data and analytics and visualization and planning and forecasting. You all probably tried Inforiver for Matrix, which is your Excel for data. Today, we are very happy to unveil your PowerPoint for data and visualization and storytelling. And some of you are probably already using our Gantt chart because it's a very, very popular visualization for project management used by hundreds of companies. And ValQ, which won the Financial Modeling Innovation Award for modern visual planning, we are actually bringing in similar set of no-code revolution, which we would be launching in the month of August with a kind of a reimagined ValQ as a no-code visual planning is coming. And what we plan to do as an organization is to give you a business productivity suite for your data analytics needs. Why are we actually doing it? If you really look at the industry as a whole for the last 40, 50 years, the industry started, BI industry started with operational reports, standard reports. You have tools like, Web Focus, you have tools like Crystal reports and Cognos reporting. And they came in the 80s, and then the market really wanted self-service ad hoc analysis. So tools like SAP Web Intelligence or MicroStrategy or Excel pivot analysis or the pivot reports is still probably the most used ad hoc reporting tool in the world. And then the late 2000s, you saw ClickView, Spotfire, and Tableau really take on drill down analysis or more going deeper analysis, visualization, alerts, and they brought in a lot of self-service power user elements into it, and they moved the market to a much higher level of analytical capability. Now, the more of a forward-looking business scenarios, things like statistical analysis, you have SAS and SPSS. For planning and forecasting, you have SAP BPC, Anaplan, and Hyperion, or Cognos planning. Now, for AI and ML, for the last 5-6 years, you see a new breed of tools that have emerged in the marketplace. What it has done is, you in a single organization, you have created data silos. For your journey of the data is completely broken. You want to go to the next advanced use case, you have to go to a brand new tool. So what we are trying to really do is, how do we keep the journey of the data where an organization can actually do all the way from reporting to planning and forecasting, even do a write back and then consume it for drill down analysis and visualization and other IP that we have built over the last 10, 12 years. What we are trying to do is bring the capability in an end user friendly manner, where with Inforiver for Matrix, we are trying to be where it is very strong on the reporting, but it still provides you the ability to input budgets and forecast and write back to your SQL destination. Or ValQ, which is very, very strong on more advanced planning and simulation use cases. But we are trying to make sure you can use ValQ and do some of the visualization and variance analysis, variance reports all the way, more it is a top-down approach. Now, today, we are going to be talking about Inforiver Charts, which is going to be core for basically to help customers do drill down analysis, exploratory analysis, and really move the needle to visualization and alerts. And I will explain why today this visualization needs a new paradigm of thinking that we are actually presenting to you today. What we really plan to do, or what we are doing with Inforiver Charts, is we are trying to really modernize data visualization, where it's a more of a next generation thinking. If you really look at all the visualization libraries that is existence in the world, you can go to Click, you can go to Tableau, it doesn't matter, Power BI, they are all single measure visualization. What it means is you can assign actuals or you can assign sales. The moment you assign a multi-measure, sales and profit and sales and quantity or actuals to prior year or plan budget, the chart really doesn't know what it needs to do with it. So then you have to do scripting, DAX, you have to do a lot of hacking to deliver what the business really needs. But in reality, the business always is either comparing or they are analyzing with sales to profit or quantity. Today, the visualization libraries are not capable of doing that. The second one is the world is completely revolutionized by data. Everybody knows the data is the new oil, but we don't have as many dashboard creators. We don't have as many content developers. So I think there is going to be dashboards are not going to be a fad anymore. More and more end users, the more and more new workforce that is coming into it, they don't have to be a Power BI developer. They don't have to be a Tableau content author. They empower the new generation of workforce feels they have to be able to explore themselves. They have to be able to do a contextual analysis and able to do their storytelling and data point annotation. But today, if you look at storytelling and data point annotations in the industry, people download an image, they will probably take it to a tool like Data Wrapper you may not have. If you look at a lot of the newspapers, the journalism, they don't use Power BI or Tableau for that matters. Maybe some may do, but they actually create a high resolution image and then they are telling the stories with the annotations. What you are seeing on the right here is nothing but something we try to tell a story, and which we have done with Inforiver Charts. Imagine you have a nicely conditionally formatted area charts, and then you have conditionally formatted text with the appropriate annotations for storytelling. That's what we are trying to bring to live data. That's very, very important. You don't have to download. You can actually do this with Power BI. On a live Power BI data set, you can actually do. Other important concept we are trying to introduce is the whole concept of data visualization is somewhat of an expert practitioner. So there are a lot of standards, best practices. What we want to do is we want to bring a no-code approach to it, where every chart, every visual is built with IBCS standard. IBCS is the only very well documented international business communication standard that is out there. We wanted to use that as a baseline. And we also have studied Stephen Few or Edward Turf. A lot of these best practices we have tried to bring in by default to each of our visualizations. So it's not about the expert has to build you a visualization. An end user can drag and drop. It's out of the box, fully automatic. Best practices will come out of our visualization library. Last but not the least, more and more of information consumption is happening in mobile. Probably it's going to be in wearable. But if you really take your visualization and try to consume in a small form factor, they don't have a high data to ink ratio. So we have thought through quite a bit to make sure not just fully responsive, how could we convey more information in even a small real estate? So this is the core of the innovation that we are trying to bring to the space of visualization. Now, what does it mean? Are we doing it with one chart, two charts? No, we have invested quite a bit in making over 40 different chart types, most popular chart types for trend analysis, integrated variance for multi-measure analysis, for performance, your stack charts, for your distribution with waterfall charts, or for doing your bar charts, for magnitude, your dual axis charts, and your combo charts. So we took whole visualization as a concept, and how could we provide a concept of multi-measure visualization to each one of the most popular chart type. And I will be the first one to admit it's not going to stop here. We probably will invest more and bring some of the missing chart types so that it looks like a complete visualization library by the end of the year. So you will see us continue to invest and bring more new chart types. And very importantly, each one of the chart type is supported with our exploratory analysis, because each one of them can offer contextual drill down where the small multiple, so each chart can be in a single click, can be converted into a small multiple. Today, some charts are supported for small multiple in Power BI, and it's very, very hard to do small multiple in Trellis. And we have invested quite a bit to make sure any chart could be converted into a very, very robust small multiple, multi-dimensional. I will introduce a concept of multi-dimensional visualization during the demonstration. It's not about the small multiple that you are used to see today. Is about, hey, let's break the product down by region, or let's break it's a two-dimensional. So what we are trying to do is we are trying to bring a third dimension so you can actually get a much bigger, wider perspective of your business performance. What are some of the unique things that you have always wanted, but you have to do a lot of DAX or a lot of scripting to be able to deliver this? One of the things is, if you look at every single analytics project, you are always trying to figure out, okay, what is the difference between my top performer or a bottom performer? You want to be able to do a dynamic deviation to know, okay, what is my difference? Okay, what is my difference between my best performing product or the next best performing product? Or let's say there is an organizational challenge, you can easily do that visually at a single click. The next thing is, you are always doing what is called as an integrated ranking, where you are always looking at my top 3 performers, top 10 performer, or bottom. So you are always ranking to prioritize your 80% of your to where 80% of the revenues are brought in or 80% of the profits are brought in. And we have provided an integrated ranking feature right with all our visualization. The measure-driven data label is a very, very popular request by, I'm sure a lot of the Power BI customer have been waiting for this for quite some time. This is key component to do storytelling, and we are able to offer measure-driven data labels with our Inforiver charting library. And you will see when we do the annotations storytelling demonstration. Axis break is a very controversial topic, but for some charts like waterfall chart, axis break is very, very important to see the variances, or which component is contributing to the variances, or which component is contributing. So we are providing an end user drag and drop user experience for dynamic axis break. So it's not like, oh, I need an axis break. You have to go to ask your developer or IT to give you an axis break so you can see the variances clearly. Not anymore. We are providing robust conditional formatting, and I'm sure a lot of you enjoy the conditional formatting engine in our Inforiver matrix. We have brought a lot of those capability and integrated it with analytics. So let's say you have an average line. You want to color code based on the average line or your trend above or below. You can do that in a single click. Line gradient. I'm not so sure if everybody is familiar with this concept. If you are a Spotfire customer, you probably are. You can have a a parameter where you can have a category that defines how the gradient of the line should be. We worked on, because a lot of the Spotfire customers had expressed frustration that they are not able to fully migrate to Power BI. So we invested in that capability so customers can actually fulfill that unmet need to be able to do the line gradient with the line charts or the area charts. Export. This is something we are very, very proud. We are able to not just do multidimensional, multi-measure visualization, where you have a full plane experience. You are able to add annotations and you are able to export to various formats like PDF or PNG or SVG. So what we envision is that Inforiver Charts becomes your default storytelling or your exploratory analysis tool of choice. And then you are able to quickly annotate and you are able to take a PDF and share with your coworkers or for that matter, even social media. So this is something we are very, very proud that we are able to deliver that. The number formatting is something that we have invested quite a bit, or where it's frustrating for a lot of users, where if the different categories and measures are in different scales, the charts really don't look good. And what we have done is we have brought in what is called as uniform number formatting, flexible number formatting, and we have invested quite a bit in number formatting. And something, if you are an Inforiver Matrix customer, you would appreciate. We have brought that the whole number formatting engine into the Inforiver Charts. Scale band is an international business communication standard, very advanced concept where you are able to see the relative variance of, okay, how big is my variance? Because let's say I'm making $1 billion of revenue, 1 million variance, maybe I want to show it very clearly, but how does it really measure in terms of my actual? So you get an idea when you are looking at a multi-measure variance, you are able to see that. It's a pretty advanced but very useful concept when you are looking at the actuals with respect to the variance contributions. Last but not the least, our small multiple Trellis, we are giving you a lot of different customization, including how the titles, the panel headers are all formatted. So you are able to do that. We are able to deliver. Now, number of top idea place, Power BI idea place requests have been completed, just like we did with Matrix. We have completed that. And that is something that when you are trying today, you will be able to experience it. Now, I will come back to the pricing. We are making a major announcement on pricing, and I will be sharing that after the demonstration. So I'm going to jump back to my browser. Hope everybody can see my screen. And I am on the Inforiver website today. And in fact, if you notice, our website has the link here. And you can register for beta today, maybe sometime within the next 12 to 24 hours, you will be getting a copy of Inforiver beta. And we are also launching our storytelling contest today. So I will be talking about that. But for now, I'm on Power BI. I'm off to the races to do the exciting demonstration today. Now, as I had explained, we have our Inforiver matrix, we have our Gantt chart, we have our Value, and this is our new offering, Inforiver Charts, something that you can download from App Source. We are taking a different approach compared to Inforiver Matrix. Inforiver Matrix was in a private beta for a long time before we actually went about launching it. But with Inforiver Charts, because we as an organization are very, very mature and advanced in the space of visualization, so we worked pretty much internally, and we are very confident we are ready to launch a public beta, so we can actually collect globally a lot of our customer feedback. This visual will be available for purchase on July 20th, and it will be available as a certified visuals from the App Source as well. So we are just waiting for the next 30 days to get everybody's feedback so we can actually work with Microsoft to get it certified and published. So when it becomes available for purchase, it would be a certified visual. So you don't have to worry about, or will it be certified by Microsoft or anything. So that is something I wanted to share with you upfront. Let us experience what Inforiver Charts is. So I'm probably going to make this a little bit better. And I'm also going to take a comparatively, let's put another Power BI chart next to it. So it's becomes an apple to apple comparison. What is the current user experience when we actually do? So let's say as a customer, I want to actually take my category and I want to take my measure. This is what you get out of the box from Power BI. And I'm going to do the same thing with Inforiver Charts. And I'm going to use this example to explain a lot of the concepts that you are going to experience. The first and foremost, you will notice I've tried to use, to be fair, I've tried to use the same real estate. Maybe let's give it a little bit more real estate. You can see we try to give you a lot of information upfront without you having to do anything. The most important thing is we tell you what is the average. You look at the quality of the labels, how they are spaced and how more it's readable, the max and the min and the average. Not just that, we offer what is called as a dynamic deviation. Let's say I want to do a dynamic deviation. I'm going to do from max to min. It was that easy. Okay, so this is one of the things that I demonstrated we provide out of the box. The next thing is, if I really wanted to change the chart type, you see, we give you the ability to change to any chart type visually. So let's say I want to change this to a waterfall chart. It is this easy. So the user experience is unparalleled. I want to change it to a horizontal chart type. It's everything is a no-code user experience. We have brought the toolbar principles into the Inforiver charts as well. So now let's say I want to come back here. What are some of the elements that are available out of the box with Inforiver charts? So one of the things that you could see, the number of chart types. The next one I will be coming back. You can see the sorting is available. The ranking is available. It's pretty brief. I will be demonstrating that separately. Conditional formatting is available as well. Annotations is available as well. What is annotation? So let's say I want to annotate. And you can actually, if you see, you can drag and you can rotate. You can do all of that. And I can also tell a story and I can do a data point reflection. I'm doing it on juices and I can say this is actual. And this is, you can do it static annotation or dynamic annotation. You can do all of that. So it is a sticky to that data point you can do. Now, when you do, you can edit. You can also have a settings. It goes into a focus mode where you have a lot of options to do the annotations, customization, all of that is available. So now I just wanted to get you introduced what is all available as part of the tool. Now, the dynamic deviation, we have it turned on. That's why we are able to do it. You can turn it off if you don't want, when you click the bars, you don't want that. We have invested quite a bit in analytics. So you see the average is automatically added. You can do reference band, you can do trend line. You can actually see what are all some of the trend lines available. Everything is a single click with our offering. And if you come to the additional series, this is where we probably are going to bring in like histogram and some of the additional backlog items that we have will be coming in. So what I wanted to tell you is even the analytics is fairly robust with our product. Now I could come back here and this is there. Now, if I wanted to really, it's as good as coming and turning it off. Now, coming back, this is something very important. The appearance. We as an organization are a promoter of IBCS standards. If you really wanted to turn this into an IBCS theme, this would follow strict IBCS theme. What does IBCS can do for you? IBCS tells you to not use colors unnecessarily. So the blue bar is now a black bar, so you can clearly see the variances. Now, where it is very useful is when you do a multi-measure visualization. Let's say I want to compare it to my plan. Look at it. You can clearly see the variance where juices and soda have not met the plan, and what is the variance percentage, and this is fully responsive as well. And you can see the beauty of this, and everything is a single click user experience. Now, what if I wanted to do a multi-measure? What if I wanted to compare to a third measure? It's a breeze. You come down, you assign your prior year. You can even do a three-way comparison to say how is we are doing. Now, you notice something. This arrow is telling you how we are doing against plan, but we met our prior year. But you can still use the variance pins to do it. But we felt in surveying a lot of the customers and the market, IBCS was very, very popular in Europe, but we wanted to take IBCS to the world. So we thought we have to really work on modifying the IBCS team to broaden the appeal. So we invested and we created. If you notice IBCS, there is no concept of axis. But what we did, the same chart, I'm going to change it to an Inforiver theme. So let's say you change it to an Inforiver theme. One of the big advantages is you have access. You are able to see clearly that we missed the plan for juices and soda because the arrows, we took the liberty to actually color it. And the advantage is if you don't have to use the variance pins, you can still make a meaning out of it. So one of the things is you can see clearly the data to ink ratio. You can clearly see how we are doing on a comparative basis. Now, obviously, we are giving you a canvas editor to adjust the size of the axis, the legends, the labels. We are giving a robust customization to everyone. Now, one thing I wanted to caution everybody is, unlike in Matrix, we still have a lot of key developer-oriented properties, the axis, the number formatting, a lot of the things still in the advanced property sheet checking. The key ones have been moved to the toolbar. And one of the things that we are looking for during the beta phase is, hey, there is a critical commonly used property that is still there. Can you move it to the toolbar? Those are the kind of feedback we are looking to get from the beta phase. So while I am on the Inforiver theme, I wanted to talk about what happens to the standard Power BI if I do the multi-measure visualization. So if I want to compare to my plan, it really doesn't know what to do with it. And this is the problem with all of the major BI tools. I don't think so any tool does integrated variances automatically. And that's one of the reasons you will notice finance and accounting folks still living in Excel, because finance and accounting folks have to manage the business performance, and the business performance is always how are we doing to last year, how are we doing to last quarter, how are we doing to my budgets and forecasts. They can do the comparisons. The visualizations library as a concept do not support that. Now, if I am a content creator or a visualization expert, I probably will know I shouldn't have used that chart type. I could have used this particular chart type, clustered column, where I can compare the bars. But the downside is I can't really know what the variance percentage is. Oh, you have to be a DAX expert. Obviously, if you are a DAX expert, you can pretty much do any magic and you can put in the variances, you can do all that. But there are only very few DAX experts in the world. So that is why we invested in trying to provide a multi-measure comparative visualization out of the box. Now, I talked about small multiples. I'm going to talk about what happens if I take the standard Power BI and I want to break it down by region. I brought you and do that. Yes, all the BI tools can do small multiples. Now I'm going to do the same thing, and I want you to experience what a small multiple looks with. You just add it to the group, and I want you to see what it really does. Now, for the purpose, I'm going to remove the third measure because it doesn't have a third measure. And this is what we mean by high data to ink ratio. Look at our small multiple. The clarity of information, look at the scaled axis, do that. Now, this is not just fully responsive, but I wanted to introduce you to a lot of advanced customization with our small multiple. It's every single chart. Now, let's say I want to come down and I want to make this to a waterfall chart. You can actually do that. If I want to come down and I want to do keep it back to the integrated variance, everything you can easily turn it. But within the small multiple, we are giving a lot of customization options to customers. You can see how good the visualization is in terms of the quality of the information. Now, if you notice, we are able to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ranking. For the purpose, I think we have done enough of comparing to Power BI. Let's go to a full screen experience so I can actually go down and introduce a concept of multi-dimensional visualization. So I'm going to take the same thing and I'm probably going to come back here and let's just do simple scaled roles. And I want to basically show you some of the unique capabilities of our product. Now we have our juices and we have our regions as a nice small multiple. What if I wanted to see what is the business performance by quarter? And I'm going to come down to the time dimension and I'm going to drop the time dimension in the quarter. And what is the thing that you would notice? You will notice we have a scroll. Now you can actually see by quarter. The quarter now acts as the Z dimension. So you can see the performance and you have a pretty robust sorting capability as well. You can sort by category, row group, column group, all of that. Now, something that I have not mentioned yet, but I'm happy to introduce you to is that if you notice, we also have stacked charts available out of the box. You can even do stacked chart. Now, stacked charts are very, very useful when you don't have a second, because stacked charts are usually if I take the plan out, you can see the quality of this. So you can even do stack charts. You can do within a small multiple scenarios. You can actually do clustered column. You can do a lot of that. Now I'm going to add back my plan and I'm going to, because I wanted to show you, now I wanted to come back and I wanted to do my integrated variance because I want to tell a story. You can actually tell a story, and I wanted you to basically see. So now the Z dimension is actually dropped. So I can actually come back here and I can actually, I don't want stacking. So all of this options are available for end user to basically toggle back and forth, and they can actually do. Now, I want to explain a very, very important concept. Now you can actually annotate why variance is high. And like I mentioned, I can actually do, so I am in EMEA. You can scroll down and I can actually say EMEA, we are in Q2, and you can actually grab whatever the dimensions is, actual or the variance percentage for that matter. So this data point annotation is a pretty, very, very unique feature, and it sticks to the data point. You can do a canvas, you can do to each of the points. A very, very important innovation is you cannot see Q4. You cannot see more than 2 categories in this, but watch our export to PDF. Obviously, we also provide SVG, but I want to see, because the entire industry today provides you what you see as what you get exports. Why we think this is going beyond to tell a story, when you see the quality of the export is, that's where we think you can actually do annotations. Now, I'm actually doing a high quality export, so that's why it is taking a little bit of time. You can always reduce the quality. So for the purpose of the webinar, I said I want to show a high quality export. So this is actually a PDF. I'm actually showing you a PDF right here. Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. You could not see Q4 and you could not see all the dimensions, and look at the quality of the export. So imagine you having to put in a variance commentary, do it, and then able to email. Look at the amount of digital transformation and the amount of time it would save organization. So that's why we say this is your new PowerPoint for data. Last but not least, I want to talk about exploratory analysis, and this is one of our major innovation that we are trying to bring to our offering. Now, one thing I would, before I do that, I wanted to tell you, each of the Trellis, the panel headers can be customized. You can actually pop up and you can actually scroll. So we have this nice user experience with our Trellis. So what I would like to do is I want to move to the concept of exploratory analysis. It is a pretty game-changing innovation, and I really think our team has done a phenomenal job on this. Very, very proud of them. I'm going to take a different data set this time. I'm going to assign category, I'm going to assign subcategory. Let's say my field of analysis, I want to look at it by region. I want to look at it by state, whatever is my field of analysis. And I want to basically drop my sales. I want to do what I call as even profits. You see how we are able to do a dual axis chart pretty much with a single click. So it automatically knows I'm actually assigned two non-comparative measures into the visualization. Now, what you get with our product, just for the sake of everybody's following, I'm removing the dual axis so you can actually focus on the exploratory analysis. Now, you can obviously change the chart type, but I'm going to keep it. Now, you get two options. You can either do a contextual drill down on technology. You want to analyze technology. You are able to go down to the subcategory level. It's a single click contextual drill down user experience. Now, I'm in copiers. I can go down to the region, each of the region, how did the copiers, and you see the heading. So you are able to continuously explore down. Now, this is not just that. So I'm back here. You see this one here? So now we are giving you another dimension to contextual analysis. I want to take my whole category and I want to actually turn this into a small multiple. So it takes the category and breaks it down with subcategory. So you are able to do a single click contextual drill down, or you take the entire dimension and then turn everything into a small multiple. Let's say I'm here, I'm in my category and my subcategories. Now I want to analyze furniture and I can go down on furniture as well. Now within furniture, you clearly have a context, and then you are able to break it down by various regions. Now I want to, let's say I want to analyze my chairs. I can go down and I can actually see the performance by various states as well. So this is a game-changing innovation to the field of visualization, and then the concept of exploratory analysis and storytelling. Now, we are working on few enhancements where you can actually annotate and export to PDF this particular state. We are also working on like you can do a page navigation and browse through each of the members as well. The speed and the ease at which you can do is unparalleled. We are probably going to give an option where this is not a pop-up, where it is simply a view right here, where you are able to do that. So, and then you can save the view. Let's say you are exploring the data you really like. This is the view I want to share with my business users, or the business users themselves, they want to share with the executive audience. You can actually do that. So this is what I would like to introduce as an exploratory, and this is one area where we will probably, by the time we go GA, the user experience would be much more polished and refined. That said, I wanted to share several storytelling examples and that we wanted to share with you. This is something very, very proud of what our team has do, but because I feel like I'm not doing justice. I'm just a presenter of a lot of my team members' great work, but the storytelling samples that they have put together is reflects the true power, and they take minutes to do it. This is a small multiple, basically, and the formatted text, the annotations that I demonstrated, and then if I click on analytics, you can see they have used various reference bands to actually highlight a portion of the segment that you wanted to focus on. So this is how you actually use the combination of analytics and annotation and small multiple or the visualization themselves to be able to tell a story. You look at the header formatting. Now, I wanted to show various different examples of, like, you know, nobody would have thought I could actually do this in Power BI. The first of all, nobody's going to believe, but this is what we are making it happen, that great visualization and stories can be told right inside Power BI. And I wanted to show number of other ones, so it opens up your eyes and minds as you are going to participate enthusiastically with our storytelling contest, which will run the entire month of June. So we thought everybody is running a lot of these data contests. We should do something different to engage with the Power BI community. We thought storytelling. Now, one thing we have also done is we have opened it up, which means you could bring, as long as it is a factual data, you could bring any good factual data set and build your socially, economically impacting stories as part of the contest. So this one is there. We have highlighted the forecast band. We have done that. And you could see that same reference band used to tell a story about this. This is one of my favorite. Just conditional formatting and formatted conditional formatting text to tell a story with just simply bar charts. And this is another one about federal surplus and deficit and various time periods where they changed. Stacked waterfall and then tell a story based on how the breakdown and some of the stuffs are. Take a stacked bar chart and then provide a story by the continents. Then this is where we get into the measure driven data label, where each of the measures we are able to tell a story. This is one of my favorite one, where you can take an area chart and we are talking about the music in the digital era. And last but not the least, measure driven data labels. It's very easy to create measure driven data labels with Inforiver Charts, and serious highlighting and is another feature that I'm pretty happy that we are able to do. So one of the things is you can actually do serious highlighting and measure driven data labels. Very easy to create them. So what I would like to do is I would like to take some questions, but I do wanted to go back to my presentation because there is an important message I wanted to give is we as an organization did a lot of study with a lot of customers, and we want our Inforiver charts as well as our Inforiver matrix to be adopted and go much broader and viral. And we had originally thought we would bundle them two as one offering, but a lot of customers felt I would like to buy Inforiver charts, 500 users, but I may want to buy only 20 users of Inforiver matrix, but they wanted a lower price point. So we thought, and since each of them offerings are so strong by themselves, we should rather unbundle. So we are going to sell Inforiver charts as a separate offering, Inforiver matrix as a separate offering, and that has allowed us to give a lot of lower price point to a lot of customers. So one of the things is we have customers from very well developed Western countries to countries that don't have as much as purchasing power. They all want to adopt Inforiver. So with this new approach, if an organization want to just adopt Inforiver charts, it's going to be as low as $2 per user. And if you're buying 100 users, it's going to be only $1.50 per user. Now, please don't think this is a single visual. This is an entire visualization and storytelling platform. And if you look at a lot of the other BI platforms, you are probably happily paying $70 a user or $40 a user. When you look at Power BI plus Inforiver, this cost is minuscule for the amount of time and productivity that we are giving. With the Inforiver matrix also, it gave us an opportunity to simplify our pricing. We are actually able to lower our pricing. So a lot of customers said, hey, I just want for IBCS standardized reporting, variance reporting. So we are giving them our standard edition for just $1. The professional edition could be bought for $3 per user. But if you buy for 100 user, you could actually get the premium edition for $3. Now, you have to buy charts and matrix separately. Now, for customers who are our customers today, each one of you, we will be grandfathering you. So you will get our Inforiver charts when it goes live, because of the promise we made. We as an organization will always honor our commitment. So all our existing customers will get Inforiver charts for the current licensing pricing plan you are. But we would give you an opportunity to switch to the new plan where you can buy different quantities of matrix versus charts as available. So that is the direction I wanted to share. I'm sure a lot of the questions are around this. I wanted to get it out of the way. And the Inforiver storytelling contest, I mentioned it, and I wanted to unveil this, and I'm sure you are all excited, enthusiastic. Go to community.inforiver.com, sign up. and change the perspective that Inforiver and Power BI, you can actually tell a lot of great stories. And I think I have time, and I'm going to probably take a little bit of questions. Just bear with me as I take some of the questions. So there is an export to Excel question. We think Power BI already offers the export to Excel option. So the users can use the Power BI export to Excel with each of the visual. That is a Power BI native functionality you can actually do. Export to Excel the data. There is a question, comments can be dynamic according to the date. I think the comments are mapped to a data point. As long as the date point is assigned to the visual, it will, so it is to the whatever the data points that you have assigned to the visual. And if you put it to a particular data point, it will remember the data point and it can be dynamic. Now, about data security, Inforiver Charts will be certified by Microsoft, which means does not do any external communication. It is fully secure from the data security point. That was one of the questions. And that's one of the reasons we are trying to, keep it in beta. So while we get it certified and get it into the app source. About the learning curve, again, there is a lot of features and functionality, but to use Inforiver Charts, you just assign the data. Now, yes, there are a lot of advanced features, but we are going to invest into a lot of training videos, training documents, but we want to use the beta period to get a lot of usability feedback, a lot of the feedback from all of you. So we can, by the time we do start working on the documentation, they are more in a final refined state. So please do test the product during the beta phase. Give us your feedback where there is a usability struggle based on the questions that you are asking. We can actually make the product by the time we go GA would be more close to perfection. The end user need a license. Yeah. So for one very important thing is we as an organization are well over 175 employees now. We are constantly growing and investing. Every user is a user, whether you view it, whether you create it. That's how we are able to bring such a low price so to the customer. So what I hope is, I want to make it very, very clear, whether it is a creator or a viewer, to them, both of them derive the same benefit. It's a pretty simple per user pricing. And that's how we are able to bring the per user pricing to as low as possible. And with that, I think I have taken up as much as questions as possible. And I wanted to thank you all today for being part of this. And within the next 12 to 24 hours, we will be able to give you access to the Inforiver beta. You can actually download and you can actually participate in the community contest as well as the beta trial. And thanks everyone once again.